Yo. We're back once more with the usual. You know what's going on. Especially since we've only got 2 games left. Should have been 1, but unfortunately, the Red Star Sword chose to exist within my airspace. A quite sad thing, all things considered. I think perhaps we start with Avianos this time, since we opened with 2 hours of Valbrace last time. Play the strategy game before I become zonked out of my gourd. Fun fact, short woman with a hammer is more likely than you think. Is she also like a rat with a red coat? Contemplating my maps. Because as was famously told to me, Big Dino cannot sue me for re-rolling maps. But what do we have? Stegnar, Trilok, and Rexodon. Perhaps. Also high. She's a mouse, so half points. I don't know, sometimes I just like calling her a rat because I think it's funnier. More workers, that's exactly what I want. Rats are probably the big guys you fight. What, like the Hulk guards? Yeah. Still not too far in the game. I've basically only covered the demo because I've been doing a lot of watching other people stream other things. As is my wont. By a single humming bomber to make my enemies cry, assuming they don't have bowmen. And we get Quetzal, which lets us muster, which is good, because for once in my life I was actually allowed to build nests. All of you take the castle. As expected, they've taken that castle, but legally, they need a mountain move or enough bones to teleport out. Love how they're in a box there. Yeah, me too. Well, legally, they do still have the top right castle, but so far they don't seem interested in doing anything with it. Gay baby jail, as it were. Yep, only temporarily. Once they get mountain move or enough bones to use flight, then they can escape. But until then, I simply point and laugh at them. Yeah, I need to build more things. I need workers. And probably more workers. What's poppin'? We're just booting Avianos. Trying to see if we can figure out how to play this game. They're finally rolling in from the top. Sadly, no Quetzal for me, so I can't muster. Can't take Rex and, like, recruit. You know what, we need more bowmen. You go over there. Okay, yeah, it seems like they have teleport. Well, not anymore. I'm hoping they don't have lots of bones. Let's see, we could up our production, or we could take cheaper miracles and then rack up our favor with the other elders. There's also like a build, but like I'm like still broke. I'm gonna make the gods pay attention to me because I think that I am very important. It should be very important and special. Throw a random seed factory there so that Rexodon will hopefully give me big dividends. Another worker bath because I'm worker poor. Get some stronger units from muster. Well, stronger, theoretically speaking. And now we'll see if we cry. Okay, we're not crying just yet. My swordsman, why do you sit there and let this happen? Actually, it's probably because I'm not selecting attack. Okay, we have no clue if they have anyone else in the mountains. That's probably not great because we're like completely broke. So save me, Quetzal. Going that way because I want the workers. First Brontor. They are seizing the means of production. Thinking this because I would like to have this guy immediately take over this castle and start building things. But what to build? More church. I kind of want more seeds, so I can get like Rexodon recruits. Well, we're not getting Rexodon recruits now. Now this is levels of production that I'm somewhat satisfied with. Is there anybody that I would like to be miracleized? Rexodon, I guess, so that next time we actually are allowed to use him, we'll get a payoff. Yeah, sorry, buddy, you get hard counted by this matchup. The Shield of Doom and Despair. If you're a bowman, yes. You got it all. Cash, money, and fame. I'm the Lord. Everybody knows my name. You fetch me some more bones. Quetzal. They expand to the northwest. I should probably start actually acknowledging Trilok at some point. But he's kind of unupgraded, so I think maybe we take Brontor, get cheaper miracles again, and then spend all our bones on Trilocking. Broke. Dear Trilok, please pay attention to me. A funny thing called cheating and getting all the favor in the world. It's something that people on the UFO 50 server Discord server have generally suggested. Brontor maxing. We'll upgrade you so that next time we interact with you, we get more payment. An engagement. Unfortunate. However, we also know they have only 3 knights in that castle. And we calculated 4 castles, trust me, I'm aware. Hey, you're a surprise attack move. I'm celebrating my 78-month mod anniversary. What the fuck is this? Good question, Gruselgurk. Also, hi. Congratulations on being mod for 78 months. I did get like a notification about like something about mods and like anniversaries, and I clicked it and it took me to an external site and I just said no. You didn't even know you were alive 78 months ago? How? Okay, so if they only have 3 knights over there, we theoretically can't just, like, teleport in a humming bomber and they cry about it. It's like 6.5 years. That's correct. That's right, it's math class now. I didn't even know. Who am I? And then like Afro Samurai dialogue. Real. Right, fuck him up. Man, they're raising. And go to hell. Loser. We do a little trolling. 2 swordsmen. Brontor. We rebolster our forces here. Send our single knight on an adventure to get more bones. Quetzal. Okay, but at some point we're going to have to actually, like, get one of the castles that's in the corner. Either corner. We have 5 million bones, so I'm kind of taking Brontor so we can do more Brontor maxing. I think the surprise attack had bailed me out before. Yeah, I think I kind of want even more muster. Sees the means of production with Trilock, so I no longer feel bad for clicking him. GLHF. Hi, Jupiter News. Thank you. Do not hold the mustard. And we'll hold the 3 bones. But, we are under attack. Also, they hired 21 guys up there. Begging my bow users to please address the humming bomber in the room. Sending the wrath of God to call down on my enemies. Yes, yes, I'm aware. was like an easy Rexodon pick then. Big Rex sees the means of production higher above the castle and then storm it. Yeah, that's 36 seeds. All you get in there. Fortunately, they raised most of the things I had there, which is sad. But we'll simply live with the pain. I will once again cheapen my miracles. Trolling. Run for your lives, all of you. Unsure what my plan here is. Will admit. Yeah, we can't move diagonally out of that castle. I'm pretty sure this is not enough units to handle that. I'm gonna try anyway. Okay, the archers are doing a good job of not prioritizing the humming bombers, just as I hoped for. Cannot believe that almost worked. Yeah, seize the means of production. We're gonna hire from up here. And muscle in with sheer numbers. We got 9 bounce, so we can afford to get rid of their archers and then immediately roll up. Quetzal. Alright, they mustered a few more units. Take Rex down for the high production and make our recruits even cheaper. Rejoin your friends. Because it's the end of the game, I assume that's the reason why they aren't immediately fleeing. Victory. Alright, only 3 trials to go. The enemy has the blessing of Quetzal. Does that mean that I'm not allowed to use Quetzal? Question mark. Well, at least they're not starting with 2 castles again. Also, this is very interesting map generation. Okay, I can't still use Quetzal, so I'm assuming that they just already have, like, either a few blessings or, like, full 12-meter blessing. Gave you jail again. I'm fine with that. They can stay over there forever. Quite amazing. Yeah, we simply win via getting good map generation and then praying. Seeds. We're rich. Damn, they're moving an entire mountain already. This sucks. They're already out of jail. All of you get over there. We buy an individual humming bomber. Oh, they only started with 1 Quetzal blessing, looks like. 2 prayers. How about we take that mountain and push it somewhere else? Yeah, literally. I think in short term we want cheaper recruits right now, so we can hold down the fort. We're going to send one of you over there. Trylock. I was terrified that he was about to strike me with lightning. Running into the issue that I have no workers. This must be remedied. Save me, Brontor. Now, 3 cost Sacred Offering is a bit too rich for my bones. Alright, square up, buddy. Alright, square down, buddy. When we get workers, Stegnar's build phase is going to pay off. Hold on to my 10 seeds, because I'm poor. They have Move Over Mountain. Things are horrifying. Taking another Rex down because I would like to hire in this specific area right now. Don't strike me with lightning. I like how those mages got, like, stuck on the border of the screen. Like, wait, how do loading zones work again? Cheapen my builds. Because I need to make these 4 workers go far. Rexon. He still hasn't learned his lesson. This time we actually got one of them. Okay, what now? Going to do something incredibly stupid and push this. I mean, we did something similar that other time when we won the adult game. We'll take this so that we can turn the workers we're going to get loaded up on into more soldiers. go over there and fetch me more bones. Alright, loser. Approach me. Trilog. Thunder. An actual army. Get in there. We're holding it. We're holding it. Yeah, maybe the people on the UFO 50 server were right. Maybe Avianos is easy. Yeah, I think that I was just not mentally prepared for it because it was after like 2 hours of Valbracing. Bracing my Val. So this is the part where things get silly. Something strange has happened to your ancestors. Now they start changing our ancestors. So now they are, well, they have not completely different things, but they're like mashed up and things come in different orders. Like as you can see, now Trigdon has all his miracles at the top instead of the bottom. Bronzol is still production, but they have like a Quetzal mustering, looks like, or recruiting. And because of how moving works, they actually tell you what the upgrades for your movement are, since, otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell at all until you actually spent 2 favor on them. Which is why it's purple and not purple. So Trigdon has our cheap swordsmen and bowmen recruits. Bronzol still has Brontor's production and miracles. I don't think we're taking... Actually, should we take Stegtor? He's the only one who lets us move at this current point in time. We don't have the bones to Bronzol max. Right, we're gonna roll Stegtor. We're going to have one Valiant Knight roll over to this castle and hopefully not get his skull kicked in. I'd like more seeds and more military nests to recruit from. Let's make the extra trade. You give me seeds. And you give me military and church. Okay, so Rexlock has movement, we know that much. And here's our 5th and final messed up god, Quetnar. Quetnar still has Quetzal muster, which is good. And decent production. She's got Rexodon production, looks like. Yeah, let's take a Quetnar. And have all our fellows roll over here. Bronzol has no movement, we know that much. Can't afford miracles because I'm broke. Can't afford to build because I'm broke. Alright, Rexlock, are you approaching? Nah, taking the second castle. Still only 3 bones, so I don't want to blow all my bones on sacred offerings immediately. Go, my singular humming bomber. Quetnar. Alright, they're approaching. Get him. Get him. That's exactly why I forced my way into that castle as early as I could. Rexlock seems kind of very silly here. He'll probably get better once he has upgrades, but like, I don't know about him at this point in time. For once, I'm actually going to take the move upgrade, because we're sort of at a deficit for movement options, I won't lie. There we go, 12 seeds and 3 workers. We're rich. Give me more money. Alright, Rexlock. They're attacking again. My bowman, please get rid of the humming bomber. Thank you. We have Bronzol, which means we can finally, like, lower our, the cost of miracles. Since Bronzol has decent production since we got all these seed factories. We can get even cheaper recruits, or we can get cheaper miracles from Trigdon. The miracles are very pricey, so I think I'll go for that first. And we'll make our Trigdon even cooler in the future. Assuming, of course, that we ever get to pray to Trigdon. Also, damn, they teleported up there. That's exactly what I wanted to do. We take Quetnar, we get a lot of production, but not a lot else. We take Stegdor, we get movement and building and not a lot else. And we'll do some Quetnar mustering. That doesn't legally impact me right now because I have no worker baths. We'll take the Hawk Knights. And the mages. The mage singular. Because, like, we gotta go over there and actually claim this castle at some point. We have no workers to build baths, or baths don't call us for workers, but we have no workers to build seed huts or churches. However, we can spend all those seeds we just got on cheaper recruits. I think we're going to do that. Can't afford miracles because I'm broke. No bones about it. Actually place down a worker bath so we can actually get workers. Sadly, we can't even upgrade any of our current ancestors with the way I've invested my prayer points. So who's handy at this exact moment? I think it's Quentnar again, so we can get over to the castle and produce more things. Or we need to start actually, like, getting armies together so we can storm one of these castles. Who do we talk to get workers? We talk to you to get workers. But for that we need more bird baths, and for more bird baths we talk to someone who doesn't currently exist right now. My bad. Rexlock is also a source of bones, which is probably why we've been so bone broke lately. Now, should probably hit this fella up at some point in our lives. Mr. Rage, 50 UFOs are letting you know that when they first came to Earth with these games, they were happy to see that you and other humans liked them, because they suck at staging invasions. They have our attention in different ways, such as gaming. Hi, PJ. Alright. Yeah, I think we're gonna actually take Rexlock. We need bones. We could also get bones from, like, that mountain over there, since we do have mountain move. Hello, how am I doing? We've won 2 scenarios of Avianos today, which is a lot better than usual. We send a singular dodo up there. He gets us 3 workers, we're rich. 5 bones, we're rich. No, not Bronzol. How am I supposed to make more prayers to the meat gods now? Very nice. Yeah, things have been going shockingly smoothly. See, I think we went Trigdon here so that we can actually build with all this econ we have. Why are the Ancestors' palettes different? So you've noticed that. In Trial 4, your Ancestors are a little funky, a little silly-billy. Not only are their palettes different, you may have noticed that the things they do are also different. For example, their names are also different because they've basically been mashed up. You may recall that usually Trilok, not Trigdon, Trilok, usually has his miracle as the last thing in his hierarchy. Whereas with good old Trigdon here, miracles are the first thing in his hierarchy. He also has Rexodon's cheap recruits, which is why it's called Trigdon. Anyway, what was I doing? I wanted to build, and that's why we were looking at Trigdon. Sector also lets me build. But Trigdon lets me recruit and build. That's interesting? Yeah. Hold my bones because I'm broke. I'm just a poor boy. Feel like once you get to playing this, you'll be absolutely terrible at it? That's how I felt when I first started, but honestly, things have been going kind of smoothly. The enemy will never come over here in our lives, so we're going to build things down here. Alright, are you going to approach us? Actually, Rex doesn't... No, Rex has move, I'm pretty sure. We're going to do that, and then we're going to Bronzol max. That's right, baby, our miracles only cost 1 now. Time to make everyone awesome. Yes, really bad at strategy games. Doesn't matter if it's turn-based or real-time. Make you command a ton of units like this and you'll completely fail. Yeah, I can kind of I can understand where you're coming from with that one, but you kind of get used to it, I feel. Going to make all of our gods better in the future, including Bronzol. And hold the seeds. You're also really bad at Bug Hunter. Your greed's usually your downfall with strategy games like this. Yeah, what sort of greed we talking about? Okay, yeah, Rexlock does have move. I knew he did, he says as if he wasn't doubting himself 5 minutes ago. Bug Hunter sucks, don't worry. Hey, I think it's kind of neat. I don't know if it's in my top favorite games, but it's neat. It's pretty enjoyable. I'm eyeing the diagonal surprise attack, but I don't have to buff move twice for that, so that's not happening. I'm gonna have to play the old-fashioned way, I think. Alright. Springing for cheaper builds. You wouldn't mind if most of the bug evolution sims suck. It feels like every color has like one that's objectively worse. Also, there's a thing where, like, it always has the same bugs in the same order on a streak. Also, you feel like you personally owe Camouflage an apology. You can't see how big my smirk is, but trust me, I look like the Grinch when he has a truly awful idea. But what happened that's making you apologize to Camouflage? Trade our seeds for workers. Trade our passion for glory. And we'll do that so that we can have a big military force come off this mountain in the future. Assuming that you can't attack this mountain. My units were snowed in. My units were snowed in. Oh no. Alright, Quetnar, help me produce things. You thought that a tile-based movement puzzle with jump scares and all animals having really stupid AI would be as bad and annoying as a game in UFO 50 could get? You were very wrong. Oh boy. So what's the word on the street? Oh, you don't have move through mountains, so we're just gonna go over here, yoink the seeds up. Okay, we got it all. Cash, money, and fame. This is a very passive AI, this seed. Definitely cheapen your miracles because you've still got Trilock in your veins. 5 enemy units were killed. Excellent. And that's all I can afford. Let the 12 Swordsman army cross Mountain Pass. Block Koala has officially dethroned Camouflage as my most despised game in the collection. That's why I did all of Block Koala before I did Camouflage. Because from what I knew from watching other people play UFO 50, I knew that Block Koala was a way longer game. Camouflage has what, like 14 levels? Block Koala has 50. $50 levels of pure Sokoban hell. Alright, my army. It's time for us to actually have a fight. Square up. Get the humming bomber, my bowman. Get him, get him. Yeah, there we go. Also, damn, they had nothing. They didn't build anything in that castle. Alright, we have 4 castles. Is this the part where the opponent's going to pull a really huge push out of their ass? It's a decently large push, yeah. I think we win this one, though. Yeah, because we got all these bowmen. And we have the mage to take care of the shield. The bowman and the mage slowly trying to chase that singular, like, swordsman. Alright, I'm unfortunately completely broke, so I can't actually recruit. Bronze will save me. Actually, I have a plan. A singular unit. 2 units. You're guessing the ancestors are randomized here too? They are, for this specific trial, yeah. Doing this in case they, like, teleport more units over here. Rexlock. It's Rexlock, so we win this. Rexlock cannot get over to any of my castles in one turn. Well, we've made it to the final trial. Let's see, I read this in my mind, but I didn't read it out loud. No pulling, only pushing, with the most utterly infuriating puzzle setups on the face of the earth. There are only 2 characters I enjoy doing block pushing puzzles with, Link and more recently, Vampy. Is Vampy the person from, like, Void Stranger or whatever? Actually, that's not a puzzle block pushing game, that's like a block swap, tile swap game. Honestly, I think the most annoying part of Block Koala is that the song does not loop cleanly. There's, like, a very obvious pause when it loops. Like, come on. However, I will say that Block Koala did give us the level edit song in Block Koala is basically an early version of the Camouflage stage music, which is a banger. They're the player character of a game you're following Vampy's big day. Never heard of it. This is your excuse to go on about it. The final fight. Instead of castles, capture 4 flags. Oh, we have no more strongholds. Oh, and we still have randomized ancestors. I think this map generation sucks. I will do this. You cannot stop me. You think Mina the Hollower has infected your brain? Honestly, the mini-boss music from Mina the Hollower has been playing in my head for like the last half hour. Damn, it's almost like Jake Kaufman's a good musician or something. Link and Vampy can push blocks, but get this, they have the absolutely revolutionary ability to pull blocks. Yeah, as you can see, the ancestors have been shuffled once again. Bronzor at least has his miracles back to being at the very bottom. But he doesn't have any econ. He's build and move. Rexlock is move with diagonal surprise attack, cheap trades, and cheap recruits. So like normal Rexodon. Stegtor is our means of production. And our Humming Bomber and Hawk Knight recruits. It's also how we build things, which is pretty important. Bronzor still has the usual miracles, so we're still going to be Bronzor maxing, assuming we can get bones, it looks like. Unfortunately, we don't exactly know who gives us bones, because it's one of the 2 ancestors we can't use on this turn. If you ask me, if you're making a puzzle involving movable blocks, being able to push and pull blocks is absolutely mandatory. Otherwise, I'm convinced every developer gives into the intrusive thought of making the worst genre puzzle ever imaginable that's just one step above the worst torture from hell. Honestly, I'm surprised you're only just now learning about Block Koala, but I don't think you were here for any of the streams I did of Block Koala. They were all at like the beginning of this very, very long stream saga. Oh, you'd hate Epic Battle Fantasy V. I'm gonna have to take your word for that one. But knowing Epic Battle Fantasy, like, I'm sure they at least like make jokes about like the Sokoban nature. Surely. I mean, it's epic battle fantasy. Okay, but seriously, who are we going to kick off our prayers with? Well, I think it's definitely not Bronzel. Bronzel, I love you, but we gotta get the economy going before we can start praying to you. Although also, if we pray to you, that's one step closer to cheaper Bronzel maxing. Rexlock, probably not turn 1 because we don't have the bones or the seeds to make use of his cheap recruits. Stegtor is early economy, but it also... Stegtor doesn't have a move, and the other two do. We kinda need movement. Can't tell that you really hate Sokoban, because in case it isn't obvious, you really hate Sokoban. People on the UFO 50 Discord server have said that the actual original Sokoban is like way worse. I've seen screenshots. It looks horrifying. It looks like Takeshi's Challenge level, like, game design. Let the singular hawk or dodo knight cross this impenetrable forest. So since we're capturing flags instead of castles, things are going to be theoretically more difficult because we can no longer do our best I have the high ground impression. Right, so Trigdon is who we get our bones from, and our workers. These ancestors look pretty scuffed. Yeah, Bronzel's not looking too hot. In Quetnar, I'm too used to good old bright cyan Quetzal. Trigdon honestly looks a little cool, in my opinion. Like, yeah, Trigdon. Trigdon took the cyan, and Trigdon made the cyan work. Inherited it from good old Quetzal. Kinda think we want to move into this canyon. Since we get the workers. Legally speaking, the enemy, unless they use, like, the flight spell, can't actually reach that. Or unless they got diagonal move on the bottom castle. I'm probably overthinking this, but, like, whatever. Oh, by the way, Quetnar is where our Trilock miracles are. Quetnar still has Quetzal's mustard, too. So our Quetnar is combo Quetzal and 2/3 Trilock, 1/3 Quetzal. She's like neon green colored. It's like neon green verging on like vaguely cyan. She's like the color of the worker sprite. Okay, so the enemy can move up into this canyon. I would like to have units in place to make sure that doesn't happen. We need a church so that we can get more bones. Oh, they have mountain move already. Yuck. Taking this because I want to Bronzel max as soon as possible. Please sheepen my sacred offerings. Too broke to build. To nobody's shock. Alright, you go north. And make yourself better so that in the future you can be even better. Alright, do we get squared up? Seems like it's so far still a passive CPU, this seed. Take Trig down for some production. Ah, they had to make a new sprite. They can't say recruit at the castle, it's just recruit at the flag now. Also, that's a very sad looking flag. When it's on top of the castle, you know, it looks like it's being raised, but when it's on the floor, it just kind of looks like a windsock. You continue on your adventure. Quetnar. Well, we're doing this because this is what we buffed our Bronzel for. God loves me. By God, I mean Bronzel. Okay, good. This would be much harder if you could only recruit from your singular castle. Well, if you build... You can usually build, like, military nests, and you can recruit from those, too. But... So that would get around, you know, only being able to recruit from the singular castle, unless they just took military nests out of the game entirely. But in theory, if they did that, then the CPU also wouldn't be able to use military nests, so... You continue going over there. We need to be able to get on top of a mountain eventually. More production from our Stector. Cheaper Trilock Miracles. Cheaper Rexodon recruits. There, now everybody loves us. Okay, what's next? Got Trigdon, Rexlock, and Quetnar. Magical Girl Dino Bird. Quetzal / Quetnar. Or Bronzel. Okay. Who do we want to pray to? Trigdon gets us more workers, and then we can move on to the mountain and get even more workers. Trigdon gets us workers, which we can spend on getting more worker baths, and then we can... Quetnar! Yeah, we do love Quetnar. We love Quetzal more because of Quetzal's color palette, but Quetnar is also nice. Okay. Rexlock, he gets us cheap recruits, but the enemy currently is not attacking us. Which is very pleasing. Quetnar gets us muster and some bones. And also the miracles, which the bones are for, of course. I'll take the Trigdon generation. Ah, we can make bowmen with these workers. We send you atop this mountain, where you find us 3 workers. Rexlock. Alright, they're squaring up. They are definitely losing this encounter. Get lost. I think we take Stagtor for the building in production. You think the CPU is shitting itself with these different ancestors? I think they might not know what's going on. They are very baffled. And that's why we invested in build. The enemy expands. Uh-oh. Only a student disconnected. Reconnecting. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what happened. My internet decided, you know what? Nah. Made my internet shat itself instead. Believable. Anyway, got too distracted by my internet to remember what I was doing. Who do we have again? Quetnar, Bronzel, Rexlock. We can't really make use of Rexlock's cheap recruits. Because we're broke. Bronzel doesn't really do a whole lot right now because we're broke. I think we just take Quetnar. Okay, what do we plus? Yeah, I think legally speaking it probably has to be the miracles. I mean, it's Rex. It's not Rex. Trilak miracles. Alright, we're maxed out on bones. We're in the bone zone. That's a lot of guys. That's not as many guys. That's even less guys. Anyway, that's why we cheapen those miracles. you see. We make gigundo on the seed stock market. Get some humming bombers to bully the bullies. And we built some more churches. Oh dang. What we dangin'? Yes, give me even more bones. Bully the bullies as seen from Krabby Quest. I personally default to Mario 64, but that's also true. $32 seeds, 5 bones, 4 workers. Now that's econ. Do I want to move anyone? How about you go over there and get me workers? We are under attack. Winnable skirmish. Winnable skirmish. Get him, get him. Why are you running? The attack was repelled. We are fucking under attack. Yeah, but for this time it's more like, call an ambulance. But not for me. Yeah, I haven't thought about it till now, but quite amazing you were able to show all of Krabby Quest in one stream. It was a very long stream. Okay, what's the word on the street? We don't have Rex Lock, so we can't get his cheap recruits. We have 5 bones, so we can get more Bronzeville maxing going. True bow counts. Yeah. Give me even more bones. Or more seeds. I'll seeds the mean of production. Where do I want to move from? You go on an adventure to get me more seeds. And you make us very cool and awesome. Yes, cheaper recruits. Cheap recruits. Finally, Quetnar enters the seed economy. Even more seed production. We're gonna be rich. Trig done. Finally, a Rex Lock in my economy. Where do I want to move from? Do I want to move at all? I can send that guy back home, but I can't move onto the mountain. I could send fellas over to this castle. That's immediately to the bottom right of me. And then we run back with our tail feathers between our legs if things go poorly. We've got like 4 bowmen. That's not something that our humming bombers save us from. Next time we get to use the Rex Lock to go over there, things are going to go insano mode. Stack door. How about we... bolster our forces, ever more so. Cheap, cheap, cheap's the name of your soul. Cheap, cheap, cheap's the name of my soul. The other day, I was called a little turkey, but I'm a chicken, got it? Beef jerky. Damn, I don't have diagonal, so I can't reunite this guy with his family. Quatnar. We are under attack. We're under attack, but the word attack is in like 7 quotation marks. Okay, I want the fellow that allows me to strike with lightning so I can strike that castle and then roll in. If that's not going to happen, then we wait. Yeah, we can't, we don't have surprise attack on this diagonal. We have Bronzo, though, so we could, like, get it. Damn, it sounds like Bronzo's good or something. I think I've built enough, so we'll put the Bless on move. Broke. Reunite. And then we lock our Rex. We lock our Trig. We tore our Steg. We Zol our Brawn. And we gnar our Quet. They are still not squaring up. Exactly what we paid for. No more, no less. Go, my jump scare humming bombers. They'll never see it coming. The silent tactical nuke. Nice raise, loser. Whoops. That's 4 flags. Can we hold them? Get him. I believe. in Joe Hendry. Well, we're definitely striking that place with lightning as soon as we get the chance. When's the chance? Not right now. It's back to 3-3. Aw, dang it. Falco, Star Fox Zero. I thought you were doing Gamble Core. Blessing. Go with the classic cheaper recruits. Because I'm already making 45 seeds. So at this point I begin to realize I haven't really made any military nests, so I can only recruit mainly from my flags. Psychonauts 2 gambling. What do I want to move from? I don't want to at all, quite frankly. Yeah, buddy, get lost. Get out of my face. Bro thought he was hot shit because he took that castle. We'll take that so we get the immediate seed bump. I think that God should kill you. I think that God should kill you again. He doesn't seem to realize that his castle is surrounded. Yeah, bro is sitting on the couch and I am the 5 men that are behind him. We're going to take our diagonal surprise attack again. Get him. The silent tactical nuke. And give me my house back. Alright, it's back to being a 4-2 game. Our enemy makes an interesting expansion choice. Wonder if they're secretly bringing their army over. Cheapen our recruits for the oncoming storm that I'm anticipating. The storm that is approaching. Win next turn if you can hold. Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at him. Is that it? It sure is, baby. 49 out of 50. The credits rolled when we beat Adult, so I guess we're not going to get credits again. Would you look at that? Only one to go. And we know how to get it. We just have to put our rapier away and use the Red Star Sword. It's honestly quite sad. But do what we must. How long was that? 3:53. I've seen worse. 49 red discs could very soon be 50. Okay, let's see if I still know how to play this game. Yeah, games on your phone looking disc. Oh my god, it is. It does. Alright, buddy. Do you remember Minor Heal? Yes. Yeah, it's not just me, like, everyone knows that the rapier is the best. Somebody came into the UFO, well, they didn't come into the UFO 50 Discord server, but they came into the Valbrace channel, and they were casually playing, and they were like, oh yeah, I used the rapier because it seemed pretty good. Tried other weapons and didn't gel with them. And then I looked around the server and saw that everyone was saying that the rapier was the best. So like even completely casual players are just like, rapier literally falls under boring but practical on TV tropes. Yeah, I recently went and edited that page, now that I've played enough of Valbrace to be capable of doing that. Is it bad that I've gone through this floor so many times I'm kind of just remembering it now? Get down, loser. What'd I change? Well, for example, I added a lot of tropes about the Naga because they didn't talk about the enemies at all. I talked about the dolls, I talked about the skeletons. I added Pierce to boring but practical because it's also a very effective thing. Alright, we don't want the bouncy ball. We want to go in here because this is where the ruby is. Yeah. Our inventory's full. We throw that on the floor. There's the crone. If only Mina could have wings like these rats, then she wouldn't be a hollower. Okay, remember ice block. Yeah, the rapier is just so good. It hits fast, does decent damage, barely consumes any stamina. It's just a great weapon. Lord Fancypuss is raiding with a party of 2. That's right, I was in 2 streams. Hi. I don't know why I said it like that. Hi again, Lord Fancypuss. You are right on time for what is hopefully going to be the end of Valbrace. Ouchie. We just finished Avianos, which is a strategy game where you command birds. And we got Cherry Disc on that, so we just have to... We know how to get the Red Star Sword. We know how to get to the... How to get the Abyss Lord. We just have to do it. Good luck. Thank you. But we are on our way to getting a cherry pie. What were you up to on this fine whatever time it is for you? Still playing Silksong? Understandable. Ouch. Feel like you're getting to the end. You know, I said that at least 5 times when I was playing the first Hollow Knight, and I'm pretty sure I was wrong 4 of those times. I have no clue, like, I've, like, not watched anything about Silksong, so I don't actually know how long of a game it is. We immediately focus on the hand because we hate the hand. Yep, yeah, so you understand, I think this game is going to end, but it seems to not be ending pipeline. Alright, one of you square up. Stop walking back and forth. Look me in the eye. Yeah, like that. Invalid spell. How about you go to hell? See, now, can you imagine doing this combat encounter with a weapon that's not the rapier? I can, and it's horrible. You have no real reason to drop that on the floor. I may as well just, like, throw it in. Since the boss is only going to show up once we put in all 3 gems. Damn it, I fell for it again. That just goes back to a place I don't care about. And Exo West just takes us. Man. Quit spawn camping. Out of my sight. Fell forward award. In my defense, I'm going off of my memory. I did not, like, go back and look at my last stream to remember, like, what the map layout of this place is. A gate open somewhere. learned last stream that Nagas are frozen for extra long. Standing on lava somehow. Have you never seen a lava snake before? I've seen fire snakes. Oh, there's the Red Knight. We had to refine them so that we could get the Red Star Sword from them, but we have to find the fountain that doesn't make us puke our guts out first. I want to say it's around here. I don't think it's through here. You like how I have a different nickname for poison fountains every time? Thanks, I came up with that one in the time between the last stream and now. The gate open somewhere. Kremlin. Yeah, we love the Kremlin. Shoutouts to Alter Mentality. Oh! I can't do an amazing Kremlin impression, but I can try my darndest. That's an Orc Tusk. We don't care about Orc Tusk. Bonk. Yeah, one thing I didn't think to try when I was attempting to fight the Abyss Lord with the Red Star Sword is I didn't use the fact that the charged attack, like, pierces guard. I was too focused on my inconsistently functioning sword beams. Let's just get that marked on the map. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk. Yeah, so south is the only direction we haven't gone. That's the bad fountain, I remember that much. That's what I know to be true. Yeah, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Keep him anonymous here. For those that want to follow without, having to chat and exist. I've been on that side of it. I know how it is. Hello, hello. Hello, Thrill Daedra. Name sounds familiar. I don't immediately know from where, but... Hi. Here's a good fountain. I remember this one. Because I remember we had to, do that U-turn. I wish to be honorable. Oh. Big Chicken, Big Chim Heart. Yeah, that's probably where I know you from then. But welcome to the stream. You're here for what is theoretically the tail end of UFO 50. After, like 7 months now. A gate open somewhere. Jesters, not even once. No, my stamina. Alright, buddy, get back down here. Bonk. As always, we focus the skeleton. Then we harass the Naga. Ouchie. Yeah, this is where we get the emerald from. Yeah, how have you been, Daedra? Alright, we're probably gonna have to throw something out of our inventory. Been doing alright just playing Teamfight Tactics. It's a game I've heard of and not much else. We are in the middle of playing Valbrace. Theoretically at the end of playing Valbrace. Theoretically at the end of UFO 50. Besides the, secret things. Oh, I did have to throw that potion on the floor anyway. I still had, one space left over. Basically, auto chess League of Legends. We'll put the sapphire in, but not, or the emerald, but not the sapphire. Because we have to, yeah, get to the Red Knight. Alright, Red Knight, hit me up. Yeah, give me this garbage-ass sword that I hate. Gonna sit here and wait for my MP to fill. I don't know if any enemies can come into this hallway. I don't think I've ever seen them. But my eyes are fixed on the minimap, just in case. Alright, we're gonna try it again. First we're gonna drink this, though. Square up. This doesn't look like Meat of the Hollower. Hey, I never said I was streaming Meat of the Hollower. I just said to buy it. Okay, what I'm getting out of this is that the Red Star Sword is nothing without its sword beams. Once you lose those, you simply cry. You. Where did you get that sword from? A friend gave it to me. Let's go. It's not over yet. It's not over, Snake. Not yet. Or as King DDD would say, no way. Not yet. It's not over. It's not. I may have looked up how the Red Star Sword's sword beams function, and I believe you have to be above 75 health, so it's imperative that you, like, stay above 75 health. Or 75%. That's 50 out of 50. You strike the final blow and the chaos of battle falls quiet. Above you, stars shine. The false sky flashes brightly, blinding you momentarily before a familiar weight comes to rest upon your shoulders. The armor you wore when you fell into the labyrinth settles upon you, and you feel your father's sword in hand. Your vision returns, and you see that you are back on the surface, before Northrop Keep once more, which now lies ruined. Your horse whinnies nearby, and you wonder if it was all a dream. But as you mount up, you feel a weight in your pocket. You reach into your pocket and pull out a tiny shining star, glimmering as though it were just plucked from the sky. The end. So here's a totally 100% accurate list of enemies. Choo-Choos, Keese, Moblins, Darknuts, Zeros, Zebesians, Fuzzies, Stalfos, Zoras, Steambots, Jevil, and of course, Kremlings. Oh. Now I want to see someone make a mod for Valbrace that just replaces them with those enemies. This must be that Dark Souls game the kids were so obsessed with back in the day. Didn't actually say hi to you, TJ, but hi, TJ. Yeah, so it's kind of the Legend of Zelda sword, but you don't have to be at max health, you just have to be above 75%. And you also need to have stamina to swing it, of course. You feel your father's sword. Yeah, let's go for real this time. You did it. Now what? Now I think we're going to do more secret things. If you don't want to be spoiled on secret things, you may want to turn off your television now. But now what? First, we're going to go back to our library and check out Cherry Pie and the Master of Play achievement for getting all other achievements. Casually taking the snipping tool screenshot of that. And another one with my dancing little buddy. Congratulations. Thank you. That's 50 out of 50. Now, we're going to change off this background. I'd like to use blue sky because I do like the cyan color, but I feel like having red discs on blue background doesn't look nice. I think we're just going to stick with the OG. Yeah, that is 50 out of 50. We've done it. So let's see. Kind of want to give like vague thoughts on like each game. Barbuda. I feel the same way about Barbuda as I did about Zelda 1, and this is a good thing. Zelda 1, I went in knowing a lot of the obtuse stuff, but none of the like very few of the actual like things about the game world. And I had a really good time. And my experience with Barbuda was basically identical. Bug Hunter, interesting like strategy puzzle game. I feel like streaks on it are probably a lot harder than on, say, All Reliable Party House. You give me Geo? Unfortunately, you're a bit late, Connie. We just finished the 50th game. The stream's not over just yet, but I appreciate the GL anyway. Hi, Connie. Yeah, I don't know if it's in my top games, but it's definitely a fun one. Ninpak? Well, I mean, I like platformers. It's a simple one. Shared it first try. You give me GG? Thank you. Yeah, I should probably also, like, look at my times. Maybe look at my stats too. Yeah, 48th most played. Paint Chase. It's another arcadey one. Not my favorite arcadey one, but it's still a good game. But I think my favorite it probably goes to Magic Garden, because it's basically Picks the Cat. Magic Garden, as just discussed. Pretty enjoyable game. It's got a nice style, nice music. Mortal, interesting platformer. I could probably optimize it more if I wanted to, but Valbrace, you were my first cherry. You're gonna have a soft spot in my heart. Lesbians is always a bonus. True. Planet's Oldath. This one was a bit of a fumbler, mainly because of it being RNG whether or not you get the cherry. Valbrace was your first game, and also your first cherry, peak platform. It's very funny being on the UFO 50 Discord server and seeing how many people have trouble getting the Valbrace cherry when, like, it took me literally 20 minutes to get it. Tactics. The ranked mode was a bit rough, but I also didn't know about moving your grunts forward without moving them back, which is apparently very vital knowledge. Demolition. Getting the cherry was kind of hard in this one, for me at least, but the game was still fun. Kick Club. I've heard horror stories, but I actually enjoyed the game. Avianos. I was kind of fearful of this one, but considering we knocked out like 4 scenarios this stream, things actually went pretty well, all things considered. Rexon picks 41, Stegnar 24, Brontor 34, Quetzal 19, Trilok also 19. Mooncat, it's Mooncat. Oh. You've got the power to be his friend. Banger game. Simply the best. I don't say that as it's my number one. I don't know if I can pick a number one, but Mooncat is a banger. One of the all-timers. Devolution has Implings in their queue. This is true. You haven't beaten Kick Club yet? You'll get there. Bushido Ball? That's not a bad ad. That's an av, I'm thinking, but it wasn't bad. Even if, admittedly, a lot of my gameplay was Raizo cheese. Block Koala. Now, this is a game I would say, Undo's 4,862. All even numbers. Camouflage. We like camouflage here. Unless you're PJ. And even then, PJ might be coming around. Campanella. I was iffy on it my first play, but I think that might have been because it was the second game of the stream. Because second games of the stream tend to get a more tepid reception from me. But when I played as the first game of the stream on a different stream, I had a great time with it, and I managed to get cherry without even looking up coffees. It was fun. Golfaria. This is one much like Kick Club, one I heard horror stories about, and I ended up loving it. Big Bell Race. I cherried this one first try, so it kind of didn't leave a major impact on me. It did help me get more used to the Campanella's controls, which probably helped for the actual Campanella and Campanella 2. Now you see camouflage is mid. You don't dislike it as much as you used to anymore, but you're in no hurry to play it. Warp Tank's another banger. Puzzle platformer-ish thing. One of the ones that I held off on because I wanted to make sure I could hold it for a good time. And had a great time playing it. Very creative level design. Banger music. Waldorf's Journey. Well, I cherried this one immediately. But it was fun. I also like its music. Haven't played its multiplayer, but I've watched it. It's kind of funny. Porgy. Porgy has a rough beginning and a kind of rough end, but a pretty decent middle. As Metroidvanias go, I think Vanger wins this one. Onion Delivery. I used to hate Chief on Bola. Now I kind of like Chief on Bola. By hate Chief on Bola, I mean hate Chief on Bola because Chief on Bola directed Onion Delivery. But we made it to the end. Got Cherry. Caramel. I think I said before that this is probably my favorite shmup. I don't think that's true anymore. I think Seaside Drive beats Caramel, but only barely. They're both very fun. Party House. It's Party House. I mean that in a good way. As you can see, it has 15 plays. Vanger's Peak Metroidvania, the disc image lies so friggin' hard. I feel like that message was written about Caramel because its disc is just an enemy that randomly appears in the last stage. Looks like it'll be a calm game. No, it's definitely about Porgy. Hotfoot I saved for later, kind of. Like, not intentionally, but like a little intentionally. But things went surprisingly well here. And July and Jerry. You tried Party House and it's cool, but dang, you're bad at it. You get used to it. Divers, it's Divers. If you were here, you know, this was the, genuinely had an Ace Attorney breakdown over this game. It's probably sitting squarely in its own tier at the bottom of my imaginary tier list. It's probably a bit more enjoyable now that, I might actually know what I'm doing, but I'm, probably not replaying this. Rail Heist, another one that I deliberately held off on. I believe I held off so that I could play it after Divers because I was too busy crashing out over Divers. Never got the Time Star and Angel Star on the final stage, but I can probably. I'm not making you a Divers hater. No, but I'm definitely. I'll be one on my own. Vanger, as mentioned, Metroidvania. I'm a Metroidvania fiend. But yeah, there are better RPGs out there. Yeah, like Grimstone. Yeah, Vanger, much like Warp Tank, I enjoy the gravity gimmick. It's got great music. The mod system is very interesting. Rock on Island. I don't know why I paused so long, but Rock on Island, early waves and optimizing those are very, difficult, but you get into a loop eventually. Didn't actually look at the stats here, I think. Yeah. Cave damage, 0. Most chickens, 13. I'm surprised that you got a Brontosaurus from that and not from Brontor. Pin Golf, another all-timer, even though I've only booted it once. 3 hole-in-ones in one game. Nice. Mortal 2. I feel like Mortal 2 is one I'll probably enjoy more if I replay because it seems like there's a lot of depth to it, but haven't delved that deep into it. Fistel scanned me out of Cherry. That's not the review, I just wanted to remain silent for a moment because I thought it would be funny. But I don't know, it's sort of just a game of looping the enemies, which I've heard is apparently true of many beat-em-ups, so Fistel is, it's part of the crew. Spin golf's stupid fun when playing multiplayer. I gotta play multiplayer with someone at some point. Overbold, this was my first hard stuck game, but I eventually got through it. I feel like if I play it without going for cherry, because I don't have to go for cherry anymore, I'll probably enjoy it a little bit more. It seems like a fun game, I'm a Ratchet & Clank fan, so, I think I'm legally obligated to enjoy arena combat. Yeah, you know you want it. Fistel punishes you for playing a beat-em-up as a beat-em-up. It's got good sprite work, but TBH, I don't think it's very good. I wouldn't say that. One criticism I've heard of Fistel is that a lot of UFO 50s games are like, they're very genre-defying, boundary-pushing, whereas Fistel is kind of just a decent to good beat-em-up that doesn't really do anything new with the idea. And I can 100% understand where people are coming from saying that. Overbold, cherry so hard. Yeah, that's why it was my first hard stuck. Campa 2. Well, I kind of like roguelikes. Roguelikes are pretty fun. And I didn't get screwed by unwinnable level design, as has apparently happened to many people. It's also another one with great music. Hyper Contender? Honestly, Hyper Contender is one I want to play more. It's very interesting. It's definitely something that I feel like I would have a great time with if I was playing it with a friend. But even in single player, the completely unique characters, like completely unique movesets and functionalities, is all very cool. Valbrace? I've gone over Valbrace. I wasn't expecting to like Valbrace as much as I did. Again, probably not the very top game in my imaginary tier list, but at minimum, within top 10. And I know there's a lot more depth to this too, because I was only using the same 3 spells over and over, and I know there's a lot more. I was only using Pierce, Minor Heal, Gate, and Ice Block. Valbrace is in your top 10? Nice. Rakshasa, yet another one I heard horror stories about, and yet didn't really suffer that much. Oh, I've got all 4 secrets this time. I wonder if secrets are just the things that make the game go, whoa, 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 whoa. Going back to these because I don't think I actually looked through, all the stats. Most doors unlocked 3 out of 14. Yeah, Rakshasa, a horror story. A horror story that was not horrible for me. Someone rewrote that one copy pasta to be about me beating Rakshasa. They were like, sound like a Mario man at a 7-Eleven buying Monster in adult diapers. I asked him what the diapers were for. He said they contain my full power so I don't completely shit on Rakshasa. Then he spin dashed out of the door. And I keep laughing every time I think about that. Star Wasper? This time I lived out the horror stories, but the cherry came surprisingly quickly, again, once it was the first game of the stream and not one that came later. You know exactly which sound effect I'm talking about? I'm glad I managed to vocalize it well. What the fuck? Did you need to see that copy pasta? Well, it was basically all that I just quoted. Grimstone? I don't know why I said it in that tone of voice, but I mean, after Divers, we could only go up. But Grimstone was pretty good, I'd say. Admittedly, I apparently picked a really, really good party. Because, as I've mentioned, I've heard horror stories about, the party where it's, Doc, Rufus, Anne, and, I don't know, Pearl's not bad, but I think Pearl's bad for, the first half of the game, from what I remember. Prey's biggin'. Nah, I don't think I will. Most played. Gee, I wonder why. Gray best 20,980, yellow best 69,000, nice 140. Red best 350,450. Horse of Disconia. This is just a good one. Very interesting premise. It's all executed very well. Even if the CPU loves to shoot discs into the water at least once a scenario. Night Manor. Well, I mean, as, adventure games go. A pretty solid one. I haven't played too many adventure games. Mainly just Pajama Sam and Thunder and Lightning aren't so frightening. Or was it No Need to Hide when it's dark outside? It's the one with the mall. Anyway, Night Manor. Night Manor's death screen is disappointing. Kinda sad. Went and got the good ending in it just because, I want to feel better about life. And that's why we have Cherry in 23 minutes. Nice 777 milliseconds. Alphazar's Hat, I was told this would be a short, simple, fun one, and it was exactly that. Another one where I'm very much a fan of the music. Pilot Quest, I mean, I don't know, I'm not like a person who usually plays a lot of incrementals or idols, but the actual exploration of the Wild Zone was fun. Me and my alien blunderbuss. You thought Nightmare's Death Screen would be scarier and gorier, otherwise it's pretty good. Alphazar's Hat is good? Yeah, it is. Mini and Max, well, kind of a banger. Like, I don't know, they put this whole game in this one room. It's very, very interesting, especially once you get, the ability to shrink down to the second level. And, the entire place comes even bigger. And there's still, a ton of stuff that I think I never even found a purpose for. What's the point of the bed bug in the red blood cell? What's the point of that one shiny that's sapient? Does not every riddle in this game have an answer? Combat amps. Well, again, I've heard the horror stories, but things went surprisingly quickly. As you can see, sub 2 hours to Cherry. 27 failed missions. I don't know if I'm not gonna call it, a bad game. Because, I can see things. I can see what they were going for. I feel like I heard at some point that combat amps, the out-of-universe design philosophy for it was that it's supposed to be a game that, is, you're fighting the game itself, and you're finding the cheese, and that's how you're winning. You're not winning because you're playing it right, you're winning because you're playing in a way that scams the game before it can scam you. I don't know if this is true at all, but I swear I heard that this was said. Combat Amps fraud game. I'm not going to call it a bad game. I will. Quibble Race. I mean, it's just silly, isn't it? Single biggest loss, negative $2,018. Biggest win, $9,208. Both have 8s in the 1s digit. Seaside Drive, as mentioned on Caramel Caramel. Probably my favorite shmup in this whole compilation. Quibble Race is literally just, let's go gambling, the game. At least you still get the, you get to do things like brick, quibble, kneecaps. And you also get to, sponsor. You get to use, supercomputer knowledge. It's not just gambling. Campa 3. Not a bad game. As the shmups go, I think it's a neat idea, but maybe I'd appreciate it more if I'd ever actually played a single Star Fox game in my life. Which legally I can do. I do have, Nintendo Switch Online. So, I can go and play, Star Fox SNES and Star Fox 2 and Star Fox 64 right now. Shouts to them remaking, doing yet another Light Wars game. Okay. I've never played Star Fox. Did it have a masterpiece in Super Smash Bros. Brawl? Because if it did, then I might have. But yeah, no, I haven't. I did actually play Assault, but never the actual game, only the multiplayer with my brother. That was 20 years ago. You thought I would have been a big fan? I spent all my Space Furry points on Ratchet and Clank. My bad. And Cyber Owls, Get Me Out from Cyber Owls is a really fun mode. There's also, like, some stuff about, like, I don't know, like, Antarctica. I don't know. Is there a secret 51st UFO? Wouldn't you like to know? Wink, wink. Yeah, like, honestly, I care more about Get Me Out from Cyber Owls than I do about the actual, like, Cyber Owls modes. Now, anyway, this has been a lot of talking, so I'm going to take a sip of water, and then we're going to continue the secret things. If you don't want to be spoiled on the secret things, now's a pretty good time to leave. I'll give you some time as I drink some water. Get Me Out from Cyber Owls. That quote lives rent-free in your head. Yeah, I love saying it. It's silly. I also love throwing in a pause. Like it's not Get Me Out from Cyber Owls. It's Get Me Out from Cyber Owls. Okay, so. Those who have been paying attention during the streams may recall that the last hint we got for our secret thing was from the mouths of cave children. Where's a child? Zola, I'm just a baby, but even I know that fire can burn through tough armor. When the wolf faces the angel. Alright, that's a bit more of an esoteric one, but I remember what it refers to. I could probably cheese this by picking 2-player, but this is an excuse to go play more Hyper Contender. Sephi's the angel, now we just have to wait on Wreck the Wolf. Punch. Yeet. 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 Oh no. Still can't believe that Multiversus ripped this off. Like brother. Much as I'll praise Multiversus, like, what did you mean with that one? Ouchie. Can't wait for the wolf to be literally the last opponent the angel faces. But yeah, I forgot that you're legally allowed to do that. Punch. Punch. Okay, we're trading. You spent all your Space Furry points on Ratchet & Clank. You need to play that game sometimes? You do. There's a reason I have, like, every single game's name as emotes in here. Love punching. Love hug. Get down here. Ouch. Also, it's Ratchet with a T, not a D. I've been blocked. We're losing. Yeah, I'll shield the Ratchet & Clank series to anyone who listens. Oh, it's the wolf. A toad and a cannon side by side. Well, I know what that refers to. Lock in. No idea how you managed to misspell it. Rack's pretty good at least the classic games, though you didn't manage to finish Ratchet & Clank 2016. head in your hands during the mayor's race. Well, all I'll say is that Ratchet & Clank 2016 gave us Alaris. Or Alaris, however you say it. So, legally speaking, it is, at minimum, decent. I'm also a big fan of Nexus. Or Into the Nexus, rather. And Ratchet's controls in 2016 are basically just Into the Nexus, too, so, like... Welcome back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can we get a head in our hands during the mayor's race? Any heads? There's one. Brother, pick it up. You meant Rift Apart. Didn't know Ari was an emote. Oh, it didn't scroll down. Like the emote was at the very bottom of the message box for me, so it was just like the Ratchet & Clank logo with Rift Apart cut off. Did you not manage to finish Rift Apart because you didn't like it, or because like you don't own it, or what's up? Crescent of sand surrounds the hole. Well, we know where that is. Golf area. Or golf area. The golf area. The hard emotes. Have they finally synced those up yet? Golf area, my first unexpected love. How can you not love a game that lets you do things like that? Doesn't look like it. Golf area. I read Pho and all I could think of was like the silly cat emotes. Oh, alright, it's a bit more north than I thought it was. Also, hi, Morkonda. She rates the space station 3 out of 5 stars. Golfaria as Pizzaria. Pizzaria? 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 Definitely Pizzaria. Pizzaria? Pizzaria. Pizzaria. Golfaria. Oh, I see. Pizzeria. Golfaria. Sure. Shut up, I don't care about Pilot. Hi. Congrats. Yeah. We just got our pie. Valbrace was our final. The game before that was Avianos. I will be going to the UFO 50 server to request my cherry pie and post images when the stream's over. That's 2 more cherries than you have. 0. Soap stop. I once more warn our more sensitive to spoilers viewers that we are doing secret things. So if you want to leave, do it now. Still here? Let us stop the soap. We are now in the bathroom. Door's locked. You can hear running water on the other side. A picture of a blue flower. It was almost thrown out after the buyout, but you rescued it. Blue flower from Star Wasper, you may remember. You look in the bathroom mirror, and for a split second, you see what looks like a pigman staring back at you. The pigman has vanished. All you see is your own familiar face, gray and unshaven. I think it's brown and unshaven. In the bathroom mirror, your face looks gray and unshaven. You thought I was gonna type soup store at first? Sad. You weren't a fan of the overall design of Rift Apart? I feel like it had a bit too many weapons for how short the game is, personally. I feel like if they stopped with 16 like they did in, well, technically there's only 14 in 2016, 15 if you count the bouncer, but you know, I can see the issues with, like, Rift Apart. But in terms of how it feels as a game, it feels great as a game. A hoarse voice croaks, "I'm in here." You knock on the door and no one responds. You hear the sound of a small animal scurrying away. Is that freaking cat that I hate? Someone has taped a rebus puzzle to the inside of the door, the latest in a series. You flush the toilet and hear what sounds like a faraway rainstorm. This toilet's tied to a secret, by the way. Upstairs hallway. You recognize Esther's precise handwriting all over these copies. For big people. The copier appears to be jammed again. You unlock the door. When you walk in. How many litter boxes does one cat need? You see a figure in the window of a neighboring building. You wave, but they don't wave back. The office building across the street is shutting down for the night. If somebody waved at you from a building window across the street, would you wave back? I would. Dormitory. The bed looks inviting, but the idea of being unconscious at work makes you nervous. The bed looks like it was recently slept in. You would? Nice. The bed is occupied. Try not to wake her, but she pops out of bed as you draw near. Me? Sleeping? I was just hard at work inventing the next warp thing. See you around, Milk Dud. She hurries off before you can say anything else. The bed is unmade. A dormitory at work? Yeah, this is the post-buyout offices. What is this song based on? Jim. This is Campanella 2 Cave. It's just a free wait. Used to know someone who made fun of stationary bikes. The surface of the mat glistens with sweat. Yeah, a dormitory at work and a gym. The chart shows how to advance levels by performing various exercises. Does everything have to be a game around here? It's a pink headband. It's a water bottle with the initials DP written on it in Sharpie. The shelf contains some towels, jump rope, and other exercise gear. The door is locked. You can hear running water on the other side. It's a bench press. You don't know the first thing about using it. I think the first thing is make sure you have a spotter. This shelf contains various weights. Does everything have to be a game? Me when I see people glazing retro achievements. I don't know why everybody suddenly started streaming retro achievements in the last month. Like, eh. Hey, that's the bathroom again. Let's go into the door we unlocked. It's Golf Aria. In the main offices. It's just a plant. The door's locked from the other side. There's a crumpled movie poster in the trash. You don't want to drink someone else's coffee. It's a package of toothpicks. cup contains various pens and markers. A sheet of graph paper with some half-completed sprite art on it. It's just a keyboard. The LX3 is sitting on the terminal screen. It's a framed photo of an elderly woman. It's just a plant. It's a film script. The title is Getaway Guys. You flip to a random page. Biggs. You want to have it both ways, but you can't. Time to make a choice. You put the script down. It's a lot longer than something you'd want to read. I'm just not feeling that motivated today. You're a story guy. Want to look at that script and see if there's a game in it? No. You know what, forget it. That script's garbage anyway. Back to making sprites, I guess. You still here? You're not a fan of having achievements in your games that can be very annoying? I quite like looking for trophies, but I don't feel like we need to add unofficial achievements. Like, I kind of don't care. Yeah. The script for Getaway Guys sits on top of the trash. I wonder who that pencil guy is supposed to be. I want to say it's the freelance writer guy that they hired. That's not a Zan Havarti, is it? Was Zan Havarti the writer or the artist? It's best not to make eye contact with the manager when he's at his window. There's no way you're going through that door voluntarily. You don't want to wander into the empty cubicle while the manager is watching you. Creative Director's Office. In the trash is a piece of paper that says MPI and nothing else. It's the rulebook for Space Trotter. Credited to Chun, Pansek, Smolsky, and Zarian. Copyright 1977 Blacklight Press. You flip to a random page. In the shop, the player may purchase one or more modules, except when mid-transport. Your head hurts from trying to process the overly complex rules. You'd rather not read anymore. Is that supposed to be Town to Muru? It looks like design documents for Jet Skater. It's a photo of a little girl in a cowboy hat, and a woman that must be her mom. If you squint, you can also see the neighborhood where the old office was. I'm trying to work, but if you're gonna just blunder in here, I have a task for you. Fetch the new Jet Skater music from the audio room and bring it to Jordan, will you? Okay. A concept sketch for Holovice. It shows Alpha rappelling down the side of a building, guns blazing. I'm visualizing it. It looks really cool. The cup contains various pens and markers. The girl's mom has a very expensive-looking camera around her neck. I believe that's Melda Smolsky, right? Screen's full of assembly language. Alright, we have actual work to do now. Instead of just wandering around, it seems. Not that we're gonna stop wandering, of course. Yo, banger. It's a record for a band called Loungewear. You may remember that Loungewear rocks. It's a jeweled egg, a gift to Thorson from the boss. An inscription on the egg says, Semper Renaski. Renaski? I'm gonna pretend I said it right. You don't want to drink someone else's coffee. It's a synthesizer. It's a rack of audio gear. There's a bunch of cables behind it that looks dangerously tangled. You don't want to drink someone else's coffee. Bro has so much coffee. The paper is covered with little 6x4 grids. It's just a keyboard. He doesn't acknowledge you, simply muttering the words games within games within games under his breath. Just a trash can. Screen's full of assembly language. Mr. Milk, I'm supposed to let you know that Campanella 3 will have to be updated in your 50-game project. Yeah, I know Campanella 3 was already released, but apparently Mr. Petter is still making some additions. Anyway, that's all I know. Back to work on these skating physics. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the jetpack isn't needed in this game, but I'm sure Mr. Chun has good reasons. The junk everywhere lets you know you're entering the joy zone. A page of what appears to be song lyrics. Seems very little has actually made it into the trash can. There's nothing there. There's a chair. A bunch of cassette tapes. You want to drink someone else's coffee. Oh, I love coffee in my coffee hole. A picture of 3 people playing music at the Twisted Antler. You recognize Joy and Thorson, but not the third. A stack of papers taller than you. Joy has insisted there's order in the madness, but you're not so sure. A list of sequencer commands for the LX3 sound chip. Pile of straight paper, seemingly tossed aside. A stack of discs. An empty container of breath mints. A pair of headphones. It's a cassette player. The LX3 is off. A sticker on the side says, Loungewear. They rock. Nothing there. Not even a keyboard. A list of sequencer commands for the LX3 sound chip. I can't find my wallet anywhere. Have you seen it? We have, actually. A bunch of wavetable data in hexadecimal. And here's Flamingus. When Frankie's went bankrupt, the boss bought this statue for us, but seeing it in this environment just feels wrong. The shelf is filled with various programming reference materials, various pens and markers, a stack of photocopied forms, and a set of overly complex rules on how to fill them out. You start filling out a form with features you need implemented for the garden, but quickly give up. A paper tray for dropping finished forms into. In the trash, you see at least one aborted attempt to fill out Esther's request form. A stack of discs. On the screen is a bunch of code and assembly. If you got a coding task for me, there's a new system. You gotta fill out one of those forms over there. Can't talk, okay? I've got so much to do for Hollow Vice and everything else. It's exactly 8 water bottles, each labeled with the time of day it should be drunk. It's a photo of Lanny and young Hugh posing with their favorite game show host. It's just a plant. In the trash, you spot a hand-drawn caricature of someone in the office. Oh hey, the sprites really are 8 bottles. Yeah, I made sure to look once I read that. You open the pizza box. Take out a slice and eat it quickly. It tastes cold and rubbery. Honestly, cold pizza's underrated. There's only one piece left and you feel weird about taking it. You wouldn't have been surprised if I got the math wrong. Me neither. A pad of graph paper. Pens and markers. It's got a sketch of Little Buddy. You know, our favorite pig. Thing. The LX3 is idling on the character select screen for Jet Skater. It looks unfinished. What's up, Milk Dud? There's some extra pizza over there if you want some. So, that was pretty rough what happened with Shane the other day, right? You know I love giving Shane a hard time, but I think he gets a free pass for a while. Don't you have your own work to do? Last thing I need is Spinzer coming in here bawling us out. It's a pixel portrait of a cute kid with a backwards cap. This is where it came from, right? Yeah. The door of the audio room is locked. How are we gonna get the music now? Okay, I guess that scary manager guy isn't Nimru. You may want to look at who one of the project managers was throughout many of the game's credits later in UFO Soft's life. Dig around and come across some early design documents for Rail Heist. Also, you may notice a familiar walrus plushie up there. It's just a trash can. Assembly language. Between you and me, this game is turning into a bit of a fiasco. Ian spins it, right? There you go. At least we've avoided the V curse for now. Valgrace, Vanger, Valbrace. Watch Chun come in here and try to change the name to Valhalla or something. Has the boss released you from that archival project yet? I could really use some help with level design on this. It looks like design notes for Hollow Vice. There's a bit of tape on the floor, left over from the maze days. You're glad that time is over. Dang. Funny how she looks like a rabbit sticking her tongue out. She's getting silly with it. It looks like an insect has been eating the leaves on your plant. Wow, it's not just a plant this time. It's a poster for a horror movie. Worth a try? Yeah. Just a trash can. A framed piece of Night Manor concept art. Yeah, because you may recall what Greg Milk was the main designer on. A stack of games you still need to add to the 50-game collection. A cat leaps out from under your desk. You need to focus on doing the task Chun gave you. Ha! I got you again. How about you fetch me some snacks from the kitchen? Design documents for your secret game project, Miasma Tower. You quickly shove them in a drawer. It's your notepad. You don't have anything to write down right now. She's supposed to be testing new games, but it looks like she's just replaying Pilot Quest for the 25th time. Every day I pinch myself, realizing that I get to work here. You guys are all geniuses. It's a copy of that weird philosophy book the boss is always handing out. Sometimes testing can get tiresome, but it's all about the obstacles we choose in this life, right? You know the saying, play is the way. This table was brought in for last Friday's party and hasn't been broken down yet. It's just a plant. They seem more excited than everyone else here. Yeah, they must be, new hire. Does this look like the face of joy to you? No, because I'm not Joy Akebi. Meeting room. It's a giant drawing of a grasshopper. Someone spilled their drink on the tablecloth during last week's party. It's just a beanbag chair. The board is covered with ideas that came out of the most recent game storming session. You recognize some confused notes about an expanded reincarnation mechanic for Rakshasa too. The basket is full of blindfolds. Instead of game ideas, this board is covered with a detailed breakdown of Shane's life goals. You shiver to think of one of these sessions ever turning its focus on you. The basket is full of various toys for humans and cats. It's just a ball. It's a copy of that weird philosophy book. Sometimes paper prototypes are tested out on this table, but it's been a long time since that last happened. The shelf contains several dusty art and design theory books. As far as you can tell, Lancelot's never actually used this cat tower. I can't remember, is there like one more door on this south side? Well, there's the tape from May's days. Here's the door we can't open. Guess we'll go and get Joy's wallet. Is there anything new? The sun is beginning to set and cast long shadows. I don't know. And here we are. Simon says, keep doing what you're doing. Tag, you're it. According to the calendar, it's Monday, July 24th, 1989. Bet you can't do 100 push-ups. I spy with my compound eye something beginning with G. Is it Greg Milk? The egg is hatched. Can you guess what number I'm thinking of? 26. I challenge you to a kibble-eating contest. Okay, can we eat another donut now that nobody's here? Damn, the grasshoppers count as other people. You remember middle school, you made it to around 70-ish? I can usually knock out like a clean 50. Damn, we can't look at stuff. I was wondering if she'd be gone and we could look at the paper we got interrupted looking at. Oh, Marl's Bland. That's the name I was thinking of for when I was looking for the writer. I think that might be who the pencil guy is supposed to be. Anyway, remember we flushed the toilet. Papers have become almost transparent from water damage. The ship looks like it's been shattered by a storm. You watch as pieces of driftwood sink beneath the surface. It's just a thing. There's nothing there. Is there anything new around here? You can't remember the last time you drove somewhere other than here or your apartment. A sticker on the car says, proud veteran. The license plate says, Mama B. Alright, so when we actually saw Joy's wallet, it was in the hardware room. which is like all the way down here on the left. First, is there anything in here then? Oh, that's the basement again. Whoops. Most people don't know this, but adding the pink UFO to Campanella was my idea. I remember the UFO from Planet Zoldath. That game needed lots of help from the hardware department. You found that disc in our cabinet? It appears to be Petter's very first Campanella prototype. You pick up the wallet. There's nothing there. At least you don't have to clean the litter box anymore. The voice on the line speaks with urgency. Hello, is anybody there? My name is Lynn. I'm looking for information about a friend of mine. Okay, I don't think that dialogue's changed, but I'm pretty sure there is more dialogue later. Well, let's walk our Gregory milk back to the elevator. Oh hey, Lance is asleep on her desk now. Thank you for returning my wallet. I have to go to the audio room now. I'm already behind. She hurries off before you can say anything else. The cabinet contains discs full of soundtrack data, going back years and organized by game. Make a mental note to dig around in here later. Another synthesizer. The disc is labeled Jet Skater Main Theme. You take it. You also don't do cable management. Another synthesizer. The disc over there needs to go to my brother, if you don't mind taking it to him. So, how about this track I'm working on, eh? I'm proud of how it's turning out. Times like this, I kinda miss using my full name in the credits, but I can see the boss's point of view too. By the way, have you talked to Thorson lately? I'm really worried about him. He seems so lost in his work right now, and not in a good way. A keyboard. You reach out and pet Lancelot cautiously. He purrs in approval. How could they discredit her? They started using initials after Minnie and Max. Well, I think first they didn't, I think they used names in combat amps, but they didn't credit anybody to their role, and then after that they started using initials. Not this room. On the subject of soundtracks and audio, you remember you found a video from your childhood you associate music with? It's called Animusic? Never heard of it. Hello, friend. Oh, I did have to give it to him. Yeah, my bad. Back down we go. A few more seconds of slightly off-brand Golfaria music. Yeah, I guess I probably should have known. I should, like, give it to the, like, guy who's in the music. Wait, which one of you is Jordan? Thank you for the music. I'll add it to the game right away. Jump scare. Mr. Milk, looks like Mr. Spinzer wants to talk to you. Why are you wandering around? I need a report on how the game collection is going. The boss wanted this project done before last week's 50th release celebration. You're already late. Go to your cubicle and write up a list of what still needs to be done. He stalks off before you can protest. Pipe dreams, am I right? Are we talking about like the old screensaver? You start to write a report and realize you have no pens. Everyone's always taking them and not returning them. And a music pipe dream, that is. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Excuse me, do you have a pen? No, you have a walrus. Excuse me, do you have a pen? Yes. You pull the pen out of the cup. Finally, now we can write things. Pipe dreams and pogo sticks specifically. You scribble down a list for Spinzer. You make up some items that you know we won't understand or follow up on. It's your notepad, you don't have anything to write down right now. Whenever you think of music as a whole, those pop up in your mind. I see. How do you feel now that Spinzer's gone? You feel the same. Hey, I delivered that music. How do you feel about this? I gotta tell you, Greg, I feel really lost. What's the point of working on something if almost no one will see it? You're a good friend, you know that? Finally, I'm going to take this to the boss now. It's just a plant. It's a lighter. You can't fathom why it would be in here. You open a drawer and see what look like crawling insects. Then you realize they're only fishing lures. It's just a trash can. Some random notes. The handwriting is crude and childish looking. It's a framed military medal. A rack of identical dress shirts. You know the manager changes shirts several times a day. You notice one of the shirts is missing a button. And we did see a lost button in the stairwell. It's some kind of antique sword. It's just a plant. Now we can go in here. There's a bunch of push pins in the wall that once held up family photos. Without thinking, you move the pins around to spell the words, "I'm sorry." You quickly move the pins back to random positions. Trash can is empty, but you think you glimpse something on the ground behind it. You move the trash can aside and find a prototype disc labeled God's Blood lying in a dark corner. Spencer being ugly and cornering you in a cubicle, definitely bad ball synergy. Yeah, this is why we've constantly made the jokes about not liking Mr. Spencer. Arabic? Question? Question mark? Oh, hey. This door's open. The shower. You've only used the shower here a couple of times. It's a decent way to get away from the office for a while. You push the button on the dispenser and watch soap fall to the floor. You put that in the wrong chat. Whoops. All good. Suddenly, a large bug pushes its way out of the drain. You look at the open drain with disgust, wondering what else might crawl out. You were talking about Talia al Ghul. Oh, are you watching like some Batman? Like, maybe like Legacy of the Dark Knight, or maybe like Arkham City? You don't want to go near that thing. You'd rather not, especially with that bug in here. Lego Batman? Uh-huh. We're gonna flush that like 4 times. In addition to the one we did earlier. I think that's enough to trigger the thing. And if it isn't, then we're gonna spend like 2 more minutes walking back and forth. That's right, baby. It's Block Koala. You really need bed, you guess? Almost 3 a.m. Yeah, understandable. No clue if that's faster, but we're gonna act like it is. Can't reach the panel while also treading water. Alright, we needed 1 more flush. But yeah, every time we flush, we flood the basement. Water damage. Amazing. Yeah, this is the real reason UFO salts went bankrupt. It's because I flushed the toilet too much. My bad. It's a fire. Damn, see, I warned you about your cables. We got water damage and we got fire damage. Perfectly balanced. They're gonna cancel each other out now, I think. That's how that works, right? Gregory Milk was the downfall. Well, let's make things worse. Wow. Oh, and her making fire beads too. I think we also get some in here. Yeah. It's a fire. I love how nonchalant Greg is about it. He's like, he's not scared at all. He's just like, oh, it's a fire. Does this look like the face of a man who cares about fire safety? You remove the access panel. It's a broken bike lock. It's a bike with its wheels removed. How does the garage feel about us flooding the basement? The woman in the car looks like she's crying. A strong force is keeping the door shut. Well, now that we've got those little secret tidbits out of the way, let's actually take this 51st cherry disc and plop it in a computer. Press the power button and the LX3 boots up. You insert the disc and enter exec Godba into the terminal. So apparently, out of universe, this is based on a game that they actually were making for this. But then they decided they didn't want another RPG. Yet they put in 500 tactics games. Curious. Cyberbee. The Spimsnet supervirus has infiltrated our system and discovered your whereabouts. Watch out. There's nothing there. Okay, both buttons pull that up. Combat mode. Oh, you heard about this one? Damn, they're beating my ass. Good thing these guys don't also have 4 action points. End combat. When 90 remain, a sharpshooter takes the reins. TBH should have taken this over competence. Not over camouflage? Okay, I think I know the 90 remaining in question. That too. You see, I know my target audience. Polite clapping greets the Red Ball's arrival. Big pipe now. Yeah. We could have just been normal, but why not? Take a seat at the sheriff's table. Okay, are we in a town with a sheriff? I assume we're in Lawbuck. Sure are. Lawbuck has everything, including sheriffs, right? We got a root beer, we got a gun shop, and there's the sheriff. Stand atop a gate where the worms congregate. I remember this one. I say as if I have remembered basically all of these. Curious how we can't have another RPG, but of course we have to have more than one golf game. Hey, to be fair, they're like completely different. What a pleasant day to park at the park. Is that onion delivery? Yeah, like one's like a 2D like platformer thingy golf game, and the other's like a open world adventure game. When attempting to steal, stand right next to a wheel. Yeah, I definitely remember that one. Hey, we just heard that jingle. Zero 229. $1988. Strange things happen during leap years. According to the placard, it's an ancient Greek jumping weight. Old dice, apparently made from bone. A Mancala board. Not sure how old it is. Shouts to Mancala. I've only played it a few times, but it's fun. It's a well-maintained pool table. Another ancient board game. It appears to be damaged. It's an 18th century puzzle jug. Computer capable of running one of the first video games. A 100-year-old carom board from India. You and Casey tried to play once, but probably got the rules wrong. It's a classic arcade machine. An early version of pinball. The shelf contains a comprehensive library of classic board games. Table for playing games on. Oh wait, tennis for two. Yeah. The putting green feels nice under your feet. You unlock the door. I think now is the point where you can get like the final phone call from reception. You know what that means? That's right, baby. We're gonna walk. Has anything changed in, like, these rooms, too? Oh. You flip through the pages, but you can't find any sales or income figures. Only expenses. You notice one particularly large expense paid to an entity called MPI. Astute viewers may recognize MPI from that other thing that was in the trash can. How do you feel about this? No opinion? Okay. This is Detective Crom. Is it alright if I ask you a few questions? I see the sales are being funneled to SMH. Yeah, there's a reason I spent all the time walking down here to make sure we got all the juicy details. Wonder if anything has changed in a good old destroyed by crawl space. Apparently that song is actually just like the Divers shop theme really sped up. And also, like, you know, not complete. Do you think that Joy and Jordan have recovered from, like, all the fire? Or do you think that they're, like, just living with it? I want to check on them. I also want to check on the bug that's just sitting in the... like, in the shower. So one of the discs you're carrying aren't damaged or anything from the water. Yeah, the papers are, but the discs, nah, they good. Right. Seems like nothing's changed here. Then again, you know, I haven't actually tried running these discs ever since I've submerged myself. Well, besides God's blood. Seems like they simply live with the pain. I'd like to assume that most of the dialogue from, like, everyone in these offices is unchanged, but I don't actually know. Well, at least that stupid bug's gone. Shower freely from now on. Well, let's go and take that elevator up and see what's good in the neighborhood. Maybe Greg's pockets are waterproof. Maybe he's not actually carrying them in his pocket. Maybe, like, he's genuinely using the game interface to hold them. If Torp was here, he would be laughing right now because this is the song that I always request during Dino Grind. It's just a plant. It's just a couch. It's an expensive chessboard. The pieces are set up in a non-standard arrangement. You got the terminal icon up there. Just a plant. The name of the placard is W. Nimuru. Figures that the execs get a fancy office while everyone is stuck with a plain cubicle. Boss makes $1, I make a dime, that's why I make miasma tower on company time. The package is addressed to someone named Vanna Servo. Oh. Yeah. We get to meet Winston in person? Yep. The box contains the first issue of the new Cyber Owls comic book, which you can read now in the UFO Companion. You pick up a copy and flip to the credits. Story by Winston Nimuru, writing by Marles Bland, and art by Zan Havarti. Okay, there we have it. Havarti's the artist and Bland is the writer, as I speculated. Because I forgot. Credits. Sad. The box contains several copies of the new Cyber Owls video game. I can't believe I did it. It's finally real after all this time. I don't think I've ever worked so hard on anything. Of course, other people did stuff too. Remind me, you worked on parts of Cyber Owls, right? She's gonna be so impressed. Her son is such a fan of owls, you know? It's a framed news story about a plane crash. The caption says, Semper Renasci. Oh great, it's this loser. He looks like a grub. Yep. The name of the placard is T. Nimuru. Hello, Greg. It's so sweet of you to visit. I hope the 50 game collection is coming along nicely. Yours is the most important project of all. The library you're building will be a shining light for humanity in the dark winter ahead. Soon you and I will be gone, but that beautiful archive will live on. I know you'd rather be directing your own project, but I'm sure you can find a way to make it fun. Remember, one day work will end, but play is forever. Like the UFO 50 startup tagline. It's a giant fiddle. You're not sure the boss actually knows how to play it. Wow, he's huge. Yeah. He's an actual grasshopper, unlike grubby old Winston over there. Now we enter a space that I'm pretty sure is from Deltarune. Why didn't you come with me? We were supposed to confront them together. Seeing him framed as a gigantic grasshopper is Anvilicious symbolism. A grasshopper with a fiddle, Mr. Squidward. A grasshopper with a fiddle. Now, we head up top. It's just a bunch of construction waste. Don't forget, you're here forever. What do you mean this is the last UFO 50 stream? The last UFO 50 stream until I eventually get bored and stream Get Me Out from Cyber Owls. Inside is a bunch of photos. You close the bag quickly. You don't want to look in there anymore. Seeing him framed as a gigantic grasshopper with a fiddle is amphalicious symbolism. Yeah. It's the boss's helicopter. The door is unlocked. You pause for a moment, unsure of what you're about to do. Me when I'm Mega Man. Without further hesitation, you climb into the helicopter. Ride off into the sunset? Dang right. An Experience by Gregory Milk. And that is the 51st game of UFO 50. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, progress from this. Yeah, neither button 1 nor button 2 are doing anything. But with that, we're finally done with UFO 50. At least until I eventually maybe one day stream Get Me Out from Cyber Owls, because I am still doing streaks in that. I've almost hit 200 in Get Me Out from Cyber Owls. It's addicting. And they were never seen again. If Gregory Milk was a real person, you wonder if he'd still be alive today? Well, I mean, it's only the 80s. Assuming he's probably I don't know, maybe somewhere from 20 to 30. He'd be 60 to 70 now, right? Assuming he has decent health, I think Mr. Milk would still be with us. And out of universe, considering that all the UFO 50 content was found in a storage unit, which I think is implied to belong to Gregory Milk. And that, I think, happened allegedly in 2018. According to the crack show for the game and the timestamps they have on the pictures. But thanks everyone for hanging around, sticking out through all of this UFO 50. Going to have to return to streaming other things now. Next stream is, I don't know. It's probably going to be Peglin, because Kruselgurk has been waiting on that for half a year now. He's a patient man, though. But, yeah, all in all, great collection. Only one game that genuinely irritated me. Looking at you divers. But it's been nice to play it, been nice to have something to come out and do every weekend. I mean, we're still going to be doing things every weekend until further notice. It's just not going to be constantly UFO 50 anymore. But yeah. Thanks for all the follows, all the raids. Not during this stream, but just throughout this entire series. It's been nice, it's been chill. fun to hang out with everyone and have a reliable fallback game to chill with. Remember what plays forever. Have a good one. Well, yes, we will be ending. But, as per usual, we need to find someone to raid out to. See who's out and about on this Saturday-ish, Sunday-ish frame of time. The 50 UFOs are in all of us. The 50 UFOs are watching over you, and they love you. And we love them. I see some Ratchet & Clank speedrunning going on. So let's write out to Nuke_47. I don't usually do raid messages, but since I've finished this game, I think it would be fitting if we hit him with a little play forever. Thanks everyone for being here for this whole saga. Thanks for chilling, hanging out, chatting and not chatting, because we appreciate lurkers too. As per usual, expect to see me next weekend with, for the first time in half a year, not UFO 50. Peace. Can't wait for UFO 50 more streams to not come. Thanks, Jimbo. Adios, everyone.